Konnichiwa, hello Minasan, and welcome to the wrap-up for the July Basho. Uh, Not going to be too much that I'm going to be able to add today to the Sumo summary show I did, in fact, just last night. I'm filming this on Monday, the 29th of July. I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow getting ready for my trip, so I just wanted to make sure that I put it up. Um, and we haven't had a lot of sumo news come out. So look to the welcome video, which will go up. Let's have a look. Probably September 1st, because the Basho starts on September 8th. So that previous Sunday, September 1st, I'll put up the welcome video, and I will have, gathered all the news and injuries and things, and is anyone retiring and all that kind of scuttlebutt by the welcome video, and then the new contest will start, etc., for the September tournament in Tokyo. Okay, but I did want to share my screen and just go over a few things. Probably not as long a video as normal, but you never know. Fred, always on it, already sent out his wonderful chart. So we can kind of use this as opposed to just, going down the Bonzuke and the normal, uh, official website, and kind of see, especially for the top division, he only does this for the Makuuchi division, kind of where people are now. Remember, this is July. This is now. Normally, when you get a Fred chart, he's added the upcoming Basho, but we don't know exactly, where people are going to be yet. So this is where they were in May. How did they end up in July? And we can kind of quickly look. And Tachiai, of course, always on it, has put out their kind of roundup, and they're going to talk about the exchanges. And so we'll get to that in just a minute, and use that wonderful source at tachiai.org. Go support them any way you can. Okay. Um, Terunofuji, of course, winning the Yusho, 12-3 record, and Kotozakura, the best of the Ozeki, 10-5, Hoshoru 9-4, two absences. Takakeisho still listed as an Ozeki here, but of course in September, sorry, my brain is pausing, he will become a Sekewake, right? And we will have 4 Sekewake. As you can see, all the other Sekewake got their Kachikoshi. Kirishima going 8-7, Onosato 9-6, and Abi 8-7. They'll be joined by Takakeisho, and that'll be our top group, as it were, along with the 2 Komusubi, who both got their Kachikoshi but don't have anywhere to be promoted to. Okay, so Hirada Umi and Daisho will join them in the Sanyaku grouping. And then what you're going to see here is a lot of white. So from M1 down to M4, really all the way from M1 all the way down to both M5, all this group, except for Tobizaru, got a losing record. So that's pretty astonishing. A really terrible performance by the upper Maegashira wrestlers. Now Takayasu pulled out. He's, 0, 2, and 13 here. And as did Onosho, 0, 4, and 11. We'll talk about how that might affect where they end up in September in a minute. So obviously Tobizaru is really the only person that can go up to Maegashira 1, right? But who's going to join him? It's hard to say. They might just keep Atami Fuji there with his 7 and 8. They might. Well, they probably will. I'll even say, I won't say might. They will promote Takanosho up to Maegashira 1, because at 12-3 runner-up with a Kanto show at M6, probably he would have normally maybe even gotten up to Komusubi, but there's just nowhere to put him. Okay, so let's rephrase that. M1 will be Takanosho and Tobizaru, and Atami Fuji will probably just go down 1 rank to M2. And then, you have to think, okay, they've only got another couple guys they can promote, but most of these guys got 6 and 9s and 7s and 8s. So they're not going to move that much. And these guys in here, all losing records, okay? But again, a 7 and 8, a 7 and 8, where you get into the worrisome bit is the 3 and 12 here, the 5 and 10, the 4 and 11. Those are big jumps down. All right. And of course, Shodai will take a nice bump up with his 10 and 5, Chirana Umi with a 10 and 5. You got Endo with a 10 and 5, and then you got Wakataka Kage with an 11 and 4. And so they'll all go up into this area to maybe take over some of these vacated slots. Okay. And then all these guys right down at the bottom getting their Kachikoshi like they need to stay in the top division, with the exception of Shioshoma, who got only 5 wins, had 5 losses, and 5 absences. Okay. After, of course, coming up from Juryo in the previous tournament. Nishiki Fuji, a 5 and 10 record at M12. They put him down to M17. Okay. So that could be what happens to Takada Fuji. Now he's 1 rank lower. Maybe they'll just put him all the way down. Maybe they'll demote him all the way down to Juryo. Hard to say. Okay, the thing is, Asanoyama is definitely going down to Juryo with that 3, 2, and 10 record. So he might take the hit, as it were, for Takada Fuji. And even Ryuden and Kimbozan are a little worrisome, but not enough to go all the way down to the bottom division. Okay, but Nishiki Fuji, of course, absolutely will. M17 with a losing record, 6 and 9. He's headed back down to Juryo. So there is the situation after the end of the July Basho. All right, and now let's look. We can come back to this. Let's look at what Tachiai had to say. Okay, so in the top of, well, actually here, we can show it to you here because we can go here and go tournament records. And this shows you how they did on, on the Banzuke as we go down. So if you go from here to the 3rd tier division, okay, you can see Ki Ryuko, 6 and 1, definitely getting promoted, and Dai Seizan, 7 and 0. He won the Yusho. So these 2 guys are going to get promoted up, okay? And then Oshomi at MS3 at a 5 and 2 should also get promoted. So those are the 3 guys wanting to move up to Juryo. All right. And if we look down at the bottom of Juryo, who didn't quite cut the mustard, right? So Nabatame in his debut, 4 and 11, he's going back down. Kaio, 7 and 8. It's tough, maybe. But see, you got Tsushima Nada here at 1 and 14, definitely going down. And was there one other person? See, so then it's like, okay, well, do you punish Kaio and take him all the way out? You've got Takeda Fuji. He's way up here. Now, he only got 2 wins at Juryo 2. Is that enough to keep him in the top division, only put him down at the very bottom? That was his strategic move. Come back, get a couple wins. He pulled out again, thinking those 2 wins are enough to keep him in Juryo. Maybe just send him down to Juryo 14. All right, so let's look and see what he said. So he said, definitely Dai Seizan will make his Sekitori debut. Sekitori is when you change from being a wrestler in the bottom divisions to a paid salaried wrestler in the top 2 divisions. Your privileges change, your money changes. Okay. And then Ki Ryuko, okay, 6 and 1. Then you have MS3 Oshomi, who I pointed out 5 and 2. He had a match actually on the final day against a Juryo man, Tochi Takai, 5 and 10. There, he's saying that this 5 and 10 record here is going to take him out maybe worse than Kaio's 7 and 8. This 5 and 10 might get him demoted. Okay. So those are the guys who should be swapping out. Those 3 coming up, Tochi Takai, Tsushima Nada, and Nabatame going down. So, it's a fair trade. He makes no mention of not Teruno Fuji, but Takeru Fuji. So, and then he just says who else, the 2 guys I mentioned. Okay, then he gets into and he calls it very messy situation in the Makuuchi Juryo exchanges. Okay, so first of all, he says the people that should get promoted from Juryo. Okay, now we go back to the opposite end here. We've got Onokatsu at 9 and 6. That's pretty much a lock. None of these other guys got a winning record. You've got Kitsunowaka at 8 and 7, but generally that's not enough to push you all the way up into the top division. So what you really have to go down here to is Shirokuma with his 12 and 3 in the championship, way down at Juryo 8. All right, so he points out that Onokatsu and Shirokuma should both make it up to the top division. Okay, they will replace Asanoyama, who he says is going out, and Nishiki Fuji. Chiyoshoma's final day loss to Nishiki Fuji left him with a 5 and 10 record, and that probably will send him back down to Juryo. So they're saying, well, okay, maybe they will take up Juryo 3 Kitsunowaka, right? So, you know, normally not pushing you up, but if there's an open slot, we're going to put somebody there, so we'll move Kitsunowaka up. That's just lucky for him, right? Okay. Oops, sorry, wrong tab. Okay. Next, we come to another injury victim, Onosho at M5. All 7 winless M5 Rikshiri this century have ended up in Juryo. So anybody at M5 who had 0 wins, now some of them are absences, but that doesn't matter. He didn't get any wins. He's basically 0 and 15, have been sent all the way down to Juryo. But they're like, okay, if you do that, who are you going to pull up to put in his spot? Because you're already going down to a J3 who only got an 8 and 7. So Shirokuma, I think, is a lock. He's getting promoted. So he said, well, we could go all the way down to Shishi, who was the runner-up at 11 and 4, all the way down at J10. Or we could go to J6, kind of after J3 at a 9 and 6 here. 2-win difference, but 4 ranks higher. Normally neither of those guys would get promoted. And then, of course, you've got Takata Fuji at 5 and 10 at M13, as I mentioned. So it looks like he'll stay in, and Takayasu with 0 wins at M3. But I never thought he would get demoted all the way down to Juryo. Okay. And then if you want to read the rest, he just goes over some of the shuffling and etc. So always a good thing to check in on Tachiai. So we'll just go to the cover page. All right, so there is the new tournament details, the 8th to the 22nd at the Kokugikan in Tokyo. Tickets go on sale soon. And as far as prizes go, I'm probably going to actually just buy a few things with some of the, Patreon money to send out to people from this nifty website. There's all these awesome towels. There's fans. There's these kind of name towels. What else we got going on up here that's selling well? I've always had these before. So these are a little bit nicer material, and obviously the embroidering at 1,100 yen. So normally in the old days, I'd say that's about $10, but if you really want to exchange rate it, it's probably about $7.50. These are a little more expensive at 1,500 yen. Fans aren't bad, 550 yen. So I can order these, from my house in Japan and get them mailed out. So some of the winners, I might just say, hey, go to Sumo, which is kind of what it's called, the Sumo, and pick 1 or 2 things out that you like, and I'll just order it for you and then mail it to you. And there's all kinds of stuff in here that's kind of fun. And of course, as always, you can always look at Big Sumo Fan, and he's got awesome stuff. He's got all the same stuff, just adjusted for, he has to import it and then mail it to you. These are showing up in yen because I'm in Japan, but I think when you guys look at it, the default currency would probably be your local currency. And he's got Tegata and calendars and all kinds of picture banzake and just so much fun stuff in here. Mugs and what did I hit? You all. Okay. Pages now. Okay. Magnets, character magnets, keychains, mugs, old Sumo trading cards, You know, just all kinds of stuff. So Robert always has the fun stuff in his shop. And of course, I can always do a gift card or something for Big Sumo Fan. Okay, I think that's about it. The Patreon page, everybody resolved well over there. Anything else up here? Jeff, of course, will send out the first place winning prize, and he, of course, has all these Tegata. It'll either be Tom or TBB, as I've been calling him, can claim this prize. So that's a really awesome prize, and I really thank Jeff for sponsoring. Okay, so that's about it. I'm not really going to show prizes and stuff like I have in the past. And oh, you know, like I said, like I had this personal. I just said I'm not going to show prizes, and now what am I doing? I'm showing prizes. This is a Hibiki set, and one of the card traders uh, on my Facebook group is sending me a bunch of singles for this set to finish my set and fill in this set because there are a few cards missing from this set. And there's your big guys on the front one covering someone's head. Okay. And but the fun cards were in like these cards of like them and their namesake from years ago. And I really like these cards where they showed like what the meaning of their kanji is. Is it a bear? Is it a dragon? Is it a lion? Um, so this set can go out to someone. It's very easy for me to mail. Things like that. So yeah, just be patient because if you well, I already sent the email to the 4 winners. And I just told them they have to wait until I get back at the end of August. And but we'll do it again. And I do want to send out some random prizes to Patreon people. So if you're a Patreon member, know that I'm going to do that. But I'll do it at the end of August. And like I said, maybe I'll just let you go on to Sumo and pick something and then do it that way. Maybe that'll be the easiest for me. Okay, anything else? Nope. I'm wearing my Seven Samurai shirt today. It has a cool design on the back, but I'm not going to spin around and show it to you. But yeah, I fly off on Wednesday. I hope everything goes well. Thank you all for coming by. Many of you didn't cancel your YouTube subscription. I'm very happy about that. You're still supporting the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I think this setup, for lack of a better word, where you know I do the nightly show here on YouTube, but then I have the matches over on Patreon is going to work. I've had no messages or any kind of kerfuffle this tournament, so I'm hoping that will be a viable solution going forward. And thank you to everybody that went over there and signed up. And yeah, I hope you still enjoyed watching Sumo with me here. And it was a fun show. A lot of questions for September. And we just will hopefully find out over the course of August what's happening. Now you can go and not worry about Sumo for a while. Go watch the Olympics if that's your thing. And I'll be in America to watch it with you, in English at least. I can understand what's going on and get a better view of the athletes and what's happening with that uniquely American spin on who should be highlighted, etc. Just like here in Japan, you know, I get a lot of judo on the TV and things like that when if I stay here all summer. Anything else? I feel like there should be one other thing, but I can't think of it. So I'm just gonna wrap it up. Okay, guys, you take care of yourselves. Have a good summer. And I will see you again on September 1st. It feels like it's really soon, right? So not too long from now. Okay, take care. Peace.